Hello, YouTube. There are discoveries in the field of archaeology that I can say alter the accepted narrative of human history. I call this inconvenient archaeology because official scientific officialdom worldwide is not too eager to pursue the path of iconoclastic finds, the path that could also enter the realm of what you could call paranormal world. There are two such discoveries in Russia that I want to describe today and introduce you to one brilliant archaeologist involved with both of them in one way or another. The settlement, which may also turn out to be an ancient sanctuary, was discovered by archaeologists in the north of the Krasnoyarsk territory at the mouth of the mighty Yenisei River, that's Siberia, in the year 2020. It is located on the top of a hill which distinguishes it from other similar objects, usually located in the lowlands, closer to the water. According to the director of the Krasnoyarsk Geoarchaeology, Danil Lysenko, who talked to Russian media about this. We examined the mouth of the Yenisei River, conducted small excavations at the confluence of the Galchikha River with the Yenisei at the site of a settlement or sanctuary. We specify what it is. It is very unconventionally located on the top of the hill. Usually people settled lower, closer to the water, where there is protection from the wind, Lysenko said. According to preliminary data, the discovered object dates back to the 7th century AD. On it, scientists found the split bones of animals, including a polar bear, the remains of ceramics, and traces of metallurgical production. What exactly the object was, scientists cannot yet say. You see, in the 1970s, the famous Soviet archaeologist Leonid Khlobystin conducted excavations in these places. The scientists connected the findings he discovered with the mysterious Sikhertya people, who, according to scientists, inhabited the Arctic before the arrival of the Samoyed people known today. According to Lysenko, scientists do not yet have enough information to link the monument discovered on the Yenisei with these people. Little is known about the Sikhertya people. Its representatives are found in the mythology of the modern indigenous population of the Arctic. They are described as small people with light hair and eyes who live in the hills, graze ground deer or mammoths, ride dogs, fish, do blacksmithing, and come to the surface only at night. The Sikhertya are considered to be skilled craftsmen and shamans. Now let me add this. In my videos about the mysterious vanished people of the northern lands, I describe legends and evidence about the Sikhertya and the Chud people. The Samoyed refers to the Sami people, whom I have interacted with, I would say about a decade and a half ago, and I have described in my videos too. It would be great to find out more about Khlobystin's discoveries, but let me talk more about this later in the video. Now, the other discovery. More recently, a lot of cast bronze figures of winged people, once again forcing us to recall the Hyperboreans. They were discovered during the excavations of the sanctuary on the island Vaigach, located in the waters of the Arctic Ocean. It is the place of residence of ancient Hyperborea, according to some researchers and scientists. So according to one hypothesis, the name Vaigach goes back to the Nenets Weihapts, land of perdition. Figures of winged people. So during the excavation of the sanctuary on the island Vaigach, located in the Arctic Ocean, 5 cast bronze figures of winged people were found. Even earlier, many stylized bronze images of birdmen were found in different places of the Kama region and the circumpolar Urals. Samples of the so-called Perm animal style I have described in my other videos, and I will include in the photographs here as well. Wing images are found in great abundance in Eskimo burial grounds, dating back to the most remote times in the history of the Arctic. From whom were all those figures and images created? Who did the ancient craftsmen observe? Who were the flying people? Now let's look at the finds on Taimyr, another quite mysterious Russian territory, largely unexplored to this day. And also you can find the Taimyr video in my channel. Soviet archaeologist Leonid Khlobystin in the 1970s discovered several sites of primitive men on Taimyr, the oldest of which dates back to 6000 BC, and as many as 5 bronze foundries. Later, it was found that the casting technology in these workshops correspond to the technologies later used in Archaeim, that mysterious, abandoned, ancient city in the south of the Urals that I've described in my videos and my interviews on TV and elsewhere. And the ceramics found on Taimyr later spread from Chukotka to Scandinavia. This means that the inhabitants of these places came from the same people and did not lose their community for a long time. But who were the winged people? Please see my videos about the flying men of the Russian Far East. I've been on this for probably now 3 decades, and the story is far from over, because we don't know if they vanished, those winged people, because they've been seen. And you can find out details later in my videos. But Leonid Pavlovich Khlobystin, I want to introduce him to my audiences. He was a Soviet archaeologist, doctor of historical sciences, leading researcher, deputy head of the Leningrad Department of the Institute of Archaeology of the USSR Academy of Sciences, head of the Neolithic group of the Leningrad Department of the USSR Academy of Sciences, one of the largest experts in the field of archaeology and ancient history of Siberia and the far north of the USSR. In the late 1960s, he initiated the research of the oldest cultures of the Siberian Arctic, organizing the polar expedition of the Leningrad Department of the USSR Academy of Sciences, which conducted research on Taimyr and Yamal. By the way, you've seen those strange apertures that opened up on the Yamal not that long ago, those strange abysses leading down to the deep into the earth. Very interesting. Anyway, the extensive work carried out by the expedition of Khlobystin in the territory of the Taimyr Autonomous Okrug or region made this area the most archaeologically studied in the north of Siberia. Kudos to him for that. The research results were summarized by him in his doctoral dissertation, The Ancient History of the Taimyr Arctic and the Formation of Cultures of the North of Eurasia. He brilliantly defended this dissertation at the Academic Council of the Institute of Archaeology of the USSR, Academy of Sciences, in March of 1983. In this work, the results of 9 field seasons of the polar expedition were summarized when over 200 monuments of various periods, from Mesolithic to the Middle Ages, were discovered and studied in extremely difficult conditions in the Taimyr Autonomous District. Khlobystin research is characterized by broad formulation of the problem based on the detailed, in-depth knowledge of the material, both archaeological and ethnographic, a deep interest in the problems of the origin of the peoples of Siberia. In 1985 to 1987, Khlobystin made the most important discoveries during field research on island Vaygach and the Yugorsky Peninsula. Have been identified, in particular, the oldest sanctuaries, mentions of the existence of which have been preserved in some written sources. The first-class monuments of ancient culture and art found here largely complement the discoveries made in such important centers Astaria, Ladoga, and Novgorod. Unfortunately, he did not have time to publish these brilliant materials. Look, as for the enigmatic island Vaigach, I have described it in my videos, and not that long ago. So there you have it. Vanished but very knowledgeable people called Sikirtia, and the mysterious winged humans of the North and Russian Asia. Who knows what else can be found in the materials of the late Russian archaeologist and where these discoveries could lead to. But I'll tell you this, the more the Russian North is being explored, the more interesting information will come out. It's just the funding and the interest from the powers that be that's needed. I don't see it anytime soon at this junction of history. But let's be positive. If you like my research, please support me. You will find it in the description to this video how to do it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please tell others. Thank you.